Hi, and welcome to our overview of NetSupport School version 11. As you can see on the screen in front of us, we have the NetSupport School tutor or teacher component running on our screen, and in addition we can see a number of student computers listed within the main display area. During this presentation we'll take you through all of the key features and functions available within the NetSupport School program, as well as how the configuration options available both on the tutor and on the student side to ensure that you leverage maximum performance and benefit within your ICT training suites. Before we start using some of the features and functions and start a brand new lesson with our students, let's take a few moments just to cover the main layout of the teacher component of NetSupport School. As you can see, the screen is broken into three key areas. At the top of the screen we have our main toolbar, providing us with simple one-click access to all of the main features within NetSupport School. Running down the left-hand side we have all of the components that are available. Each one, as we select, will jump to a different mode, and again we will cover these individually as we progress through our tour. And finally, the main view area, where all of our relevant student information will be displayed on screen for us throughout the lesson. Okay, let's start at the very beginning by ending our class and starting a new one so that we can work through the steps and options that are available to us. So let's end our class, and you'll see we're presented with a new class wizard. The new class wizard will automatically record the relevant information for my teacher name and my lesson title, and of course this can be revised on the fly. We also have an option here to include lesson objectives and outcomes, something that most organisations will be familiar with as the current viewpoint on educational standards. Okay, and as if by magic we've got some lesson objectives now that have been added. We can also choose whether this is an open lesson or whether we want to have a lesson timer displayed. Below this area we have a connection window, and in most cases in a classroom the same connection method will be used over and over again. But there are occasions where different means of connecting to students are required, and NetSupport School provides 4 different options. Let's have a look at our new connection option, and you'll see we're presented with our startup modes. There are 4. The first is room mode, and we'll cover each one individually so that there's full clarity. With room mode, both the teacher and student PCs can be configured to reflect a particular room name. If the student computer starts and the NetSupport student is selected as room 1, then they will automatically connect to a teacher with the same room mode. On this point, multiple rooms can be used, so of course a teacher could monitor not only students in one classroom, but perhaps view machines in a second classroom as well if they're providing cover for a lesson. In PC mode, NetSupport simply allows us to create a list of computer names and automatically connect to each of the PCs within that list at the start of each lesson. In user mode, the same approach applies, but instead of PC names, we can now produce a list of network users and automatically connect to each of those students based on their logon name at the beginning of each class. Particularly useful if you have mobile students joining a class with their own hardware and you simply want to maintain a list of which students you would expect to be present in each of your lessons. And finally, browse mode, which does as it suggests. It simply allows us to browse the network and select which students we wish to connect to at any given time. Again, all of these modes can be accessed at any point, but in a typical classroom you will pick the startup mode that suits your requirements, and that most likely is the mode that you will automatically use each and every time. In this case we've got one room already defined. The name is room 1, so that's what we're going to use, and you'll see it has a tick to reflect that it's our default mode. You'll also notice that we have a power management option at this point, so we could also turn on all the computers in our given room. We also have the option here to create a journal and a register. We'll come in detail to the student journal